Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Daryl Wayne Black. Black was shot and killed on Sunday, April 30th, 2000 in the 1900 block of Lime Avenue in Long Beach, according to LA County coroner records. Ramon Sandoval Jr. was subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. According to Sandoval's confession, which was tape recorded and played for the jury, he was a member of Barrio Pobre and goes by the moniker Menace. On April 29, 2000, Sandoval and about 15 other members of Barrio Pobre were drinking outside an abandoned house in Compton when a car pulled up. Someone in the car yelled, "Fuck BP, East Side," and began shooting at them. No one was hit and the car drove away. Sandoval and his fellow gang members believe the shooting was committed by a rival named Eastside Paramount. Sandoval and several members of his gang decided to retaliate. Sandoval retrieved an assault weapon, an AR-15, from a fellow gang member, and they went to the home of Vincent Ramirez, known as Toro, who was a shot caller or leader of Eastside Paramount. They knew that Toro was having a birthday party at his house on Lime Avenue between 19th and 20th Streets in Long Beach. They intended to knock on the door and kill Toro. Sandoval, carrying the assault weapon, rode in a red Chevrolet Beretta driven by Juan Camacho, the brother of co-defendant Miguel Camacho, known as Rascal. They followed Camacho, Adolfo Bojorquez, and Julio del Rio, who were riding in a Honda. They pulled to the curve near Toro's house on the west side of Lime Avenue facing south. Sandoval got out of the car, still carrying the assault weapon, and saw Camacho or Rascal walking on the sidewalk on the east side of the street towards Toro's house. Sandoval was about to join him when he saw a police car driving down Lime Avenue, so Sandoval ducked behind the Beretta. The car was unmarked, but Sandoval recognized it was a police car, in part because of the spotlights mounted on the sides. Sandoval saw that there were two police officers in the car, and they were looking at Camacho. Sandoval knew Camacho was on parole and was violating the terms of his parole because he was armed with a .45 caliber handgun. To save Camacho from going to jail, Sandoval stood up and opened fire on the police car. Sandoval said the officers didn't know what to do because they didn't know where the bullets were coming from because they didn't see me. Detective Rick Delphin confirmed that he didn't see Sandoval until Sandoval began shooting. Detective Delphin testified that he was driving an unmarked police car southbound on Lime Avenue accompanied by Detective Daryl Black. They were part of the gang unit. He noticed a car that was double parked about mid-block and saw Camacho standing by the back bumper. Detective Delphin slowed up and stopped about 2 car lengths behind the car as Camacho began walking east across the street. Detective Delphin continued to look to his left, watching Camacho. He was about to get out of the car and talk to Camacho when someone to my right started unloading on our police car with what sounded like an assault weapon. He said he didn't know anybody was on the side of the car until he started shooting. First shot, I don't think I did anything, but the ones following the first shot shattered the windows. Windows exploded and broke. The car was getting torn apart inside the interior. Debris is flying, then I caught around to the side of the head. Officers responding to Detective Delphin's radio call for assistance took Detective Black to the hospital, where he died from a gunshot wound to his head. Detective Delphin had been shot in the head and right knee. Police found 28 expended shell casings at the crime scene. Maria Cervantes also was shot. She had been lying in her bed in her home on Lime Avenue when she was shot in her leg and abdomen. She was about 8 months pregnant, but her unborn child was not injured. About 20 minutes after the shooting, police found Camacho hiding in the backyard of a nearby house. Camacho assisted police in trying to locate the shooter in this case. Camacho told the officers that Sandoval was armed with an AR-15 assault weapon. Camacho crossed the street and began walking as the police car arrived. When the police car stopped, Camacho heard several loud gunshots and saw Sandoval firing the AR-15 to the passenger side door area of the car. Camacho ran and hid in the courtyard where police found him. Camacho identified Sandoval from a photo lineup and led officers to Sandoval's house. Officers confirmed that Sandoval lived at that residence. On May 2nd, 2000, police executed a search warrant for Sandoval's residence and arrested Sandoval. A red Chevrolet Beretta was parked behind the residence, and an AR-15 assault weapon covered by a towel was found behind the stove. Ballistic tests revealed that this was the rifle that had been used to shoot Detective Black and Delphin. Following the trial, the jury convicted the defendant of the murder of Long Beach Police Detective Daryl Black and the attempted murder of his partner, Detective Rick Delphin, and the assault on Maria Cervantes, including a gun and gang enhancement. Ramon Sandoval Jr. was sentenced to death. Darrell Wayne Black was 33 years old at the time of death.